Hello, spooky friends, and welcome to another episode of Storytime with the Scariest Podcast.
Woo!
I'm Ron Grace. This is Diaz.
Hello.
And we are here today to read you folks some homegrown horrors. Adam, what are those? Tell us.
Homegrown horrors.
Enlighten us.
Okay, cool. Homegrown horrors, the wonderful stories that our listeners and viewers have sent to us. Stories that contain stuff that's supernatural, paranormal, spiritual, spooky, creepy, sometimes coincidental, sometimes true crime, and sometimes extraterrestrial in nature. Robin, if someone out there had a story they wanted to share, where could they send it?
You can send it to our email, storytime@scariest.com. You can also go to our website, which happens to be scariest.com.
Still can't believe we got it.
I can't believe it either. Isn't that insane?
We got scarishpodcast.com to begin with, and I was like, dude, scarish.com's available. Should we get that too? And Robin's like, I don't know. And then like 5 minutes later, she's like, yes, we should. I was like, yeah, you're right. So we got that one too. I don't think we still have scarishpodcast.com.
You know, it's been
anymore.
like 3 years, and I just am mind blown that that's our website.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though.
You can go to our contact us page, fill out all that fun information, and send your story to us that way if you prefer. Yeah. Oh, we also have social media. Duh. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that fun stuff. And yeah.
You sounded like that song, Bad Guy.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Billie Eilish.
That's the one. All right, so we have 4 stories for you tonight. Robin, are you going to go first or am I? You initially said you.
Yeah,
I decided to ask again.
I know. Okay, I'll go first. Why you gotta throw me off like that?
Because I figured by asking you a question I've already asked you twice in the last 10 minutes, you would have the answer, but I see that it almost changed. So.
All right. Now I gotta look. Okay, I got it.
All right.
This first email of the episode, its subject is My Uncle's House of Horrors, number 1.
That sounds kind of terrifying.
I'm excited for number 2.
I'm always excited for a good number 2.
You know, I came home today after work and I was like, man, I gotta poop. Still have not pooped.
Cool. We'll strap in for this 90-minute show you're about to endure.
All right. Okay. Anyway, it begins. Hey there, spooky friends. Hello.
And all you spooky friends, yell out hello wherever you're at right now. No matter how crazy it might make you look.
Hello. I'm going to share one of the many ghostly encounters of my uncle's house, yet the people who I've told outside of my family do not believe me, but I swear to God that it happened. For context, I have an uncle who lives in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. There are trees everywhere, and the neighboring houses are blocks away. That's like something out of The Strangers or whatever. That's the one where people break into the house, right?
I've never seen it. It's a home invasion one, I'm pretty sure, though. So
yeah, and
nobody
lives anywhere near them, and it's just this house, and it's just terrifying.
It sounds horrifying.
Yeah.
Home invasion shit is not something I like to watch, so.
I kind of like having a house stacked like in an area with a bunch of other houses, because at least someone out there has to hear you scream. Someone.
Yeah. I mean,
hoping, you know.
Sometimes if you have a loud party, you definitely don't want to be living in an area where everyone can hear you. But, you know, if you're going to be murdered, then you definitely want to have neighbors. Unless they're the ones that are coming for you.
I want someone to help me.
Plot twist. Record scratch.
That's fucked. I feel like Courage the Cowardly Dog when I visit on the holidays. Oh.
It's hilarious.
What town do they live in, too?
I have no idea.
It's like middle of nowhere something.
Nailed it. The specifics are why people tune in.
Okay, I honestly wish I could remember where their house was, but Courage the Cowardly Dog, if you have not watched it, is probably some of the best TV I've seen, because it's just this quirky, creepy cartoon. I don't know.
He lives in a pineapple under the sea,
That's
right?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
No, I think you're wrong on that. I'll Google it.
2 things to note about this house is that it was built over a war trail. You can find horseshoes, arrowheads, and other goodies in his backyard with a metal detector. The other notable detail is that once you enter his house, you're greeted with a kitchen with a super high ceiling. Now that I've got that out of the way, let's get to the juicy part.
Hell yeah.
My uncle is obsessed with contacting the paranormal, and he has that weird technology to do so. What? Weird technology?
Does he have a proton pack or something?
It's a Ouija board. That's
or
the cool
PKE
technology.
Meter?
We do this every time I visited, but this was when I was 12, so I was a bit freaked out by it. While my family sat in the dining room with the doors shut, I played with my uncle's dogs in the kitchen. That's when I felt cold, bony talons gently scrape against the crown of my head. Oh man, have you ever had someone with long nails just go like, rah, rah, like with their nails on your head? I'm scratching Adam's head.
Feels really good.
But have like...
Not really. No one's ever really grabbed my head like with long fingernails.
Oh
like
man,
that.
I can totally just think, I can
imagine
imagine
picture the feeling of like a big bird landing on my head or something.
Okay.
Not actually Big Bird, though. He doesn't have, like, talons or anything.
Oh, God. You don't know that. Have you seen his feet?
Yeah, they show you his feet all the fucking time.
Really? I thought you only see his legs.
No, I'm pretty sure he, like, sits down and you'll see his feet sometimes and just, like...
Are there claws on there?
No, I just said that. No, they're, like, rounded toes. These pretty fluffy. It's
okay.
my recollection. That could be a Mandela effect thing. He could have hideous legs and feet. I haven't seen Big Bird in a long time.
It didn't feel like it was trying to hurt me, just a gentle swipe across my head. I turned around thinking it was my uncle trying to scare me, but nobody was there. I rushed back into the dining room and told everyone what happened. My uncle's wife claims that she feels cold, bony hands poking at her all the time. Many people, mostly women, on my mother's side carry what they call, quote-unquote, the gift, where they're able to feel, see, and hear spirits. I'd love to talk more about this, but this is already getting way too long. So despite this being years ago, sometimes I still feel the bony hand when I'm alone. When you're in the house or just in general?
I was going to say, like, at this particular place?
Yeah.
Or did it follow you? Did you take it home?
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Because it follows. Other horror movie. What do you guys think about this? Ghost or not, hope you enjoyed this little story. Thank you, Beep Siegel. That's what the name on it is.
What I will say is that when other people have experienced something very similar, it definitely sounds like something is going on. When you say that you still experience it, it does make us wonder, as we already stated, whether or not you experience it when you're there or outside of that place. Because as far as we know, I mean, we're not like professionals about this or anything, but most of the things that we have heard and the topics we've researched is that hauntings tend to be relegated to a specific location. So if it followed you, that's a little bit different and definitely creepier.
But a person can be haunted. It's poltergeists that stay to the location, right?
Yeah, but I think most of the times when it's specific to a person, that we've learned at least, it's typically like demonic related. You know what I mean? Like ghost possession.
We
is
are
different
obviously
than
not
possession.
paranormal investigators.
I have lots of questions. I don't have lots of answers, so I do apologize for that.
We have lots of curiosities.
Yeah, so let us know whether or not this is only in the specific location, because I feel like that changes the dynamic a little bit. Because it's definitely creepy that if you walked in there, this thing was like, I'm going to grab this person's head. And they grabbed you, and then
they were with you forever.
I'm just going to follow them around. Or maybe they got their hand stuck, and every time you walk around, you're just dragging them, and they're like, let me go.
I think I always bring this up, but the movie Shudder. I've brought it up before, where this guy has the spirit of this girl on his shoulder, and the entire movie he's like, man, my neck hurts, and it keeps hurting more and more and more. And at the end of the movie, you see that it's the ghost of this girl that got killed, that had to do with him, right? I don't remember if he's the one that did it or something.
You don't have to spoil the entire movie, so that's pretty good.
But it's her sitting on his shoulder, the ghost of her sitting on his shoulder or her neck, and that's why it hurts. It's nuts. Both the original and the American version, both good. Both should watch. They are good. Do that.
Good to know. Movie recommendation from Robin, and she spoiled it for you. You're welcome. So thank you so much for sending that in. Okay, so I'm going to move into my first one of the show, and this one's subject is Storytime. Okay to read on the podcast. Nice. Way to do it like that. It starts out like this. Hi there, Adam, Robin, and Spooky Mom.
Hi there.
Hello. And my mom downstairs says, hi there.
He always makes these voices for his mom, and she sounds nothing. She's like the nicest sounding
That's
lady.
the most accurate one. My mom has to be kept chained up in the basement, and we feed her a bucket of fish heads once a week.
You're so fucking... God.
It's a Simpsons reference. Anyways, moving on. My name is Michael Ann, pronounced Michael Ann. I found your podcast during the great quarantine of 2020 and have been listening non-stop since. Though I'm still working on the backlog, I'm now a patron and so glad I took the plunge.
A
little bit of postscript from January Patreon push.
Because I seriously package every package. Personally, I write everyone's name. I write everyone's notes. I recognize everyone's names, which is why I immediately recognized that name before you even mentioned it.
Robin is the merch person, so that's her domain. I think it goes without saying that I'm pretty hooked. When I was a freshman in high school, and in parentheses...
I wanted to hook your mouth because you're pretty hooked.
I'm so glad you didn't do that. When I was a freshman in high school, and then in parentheses, it says, I'm in my 30s now, so a long, long time ago, my mom, stepdad, and I moved to a new home. Side note, I heard a YouTuber today say that they're 31. They're like, I have bad joints already, and I'm 31. And I was like, dang, that's really early. And I hit me. I was like, fuck, I'm 35. When did I turn 35?
Like, I'm 31, and I got Rice Krispies in my knee. Not the medical term.
How would we know? Our doctor won't even fucking see us. When they see us, the doctor's just like, oh, whatever's wrong with you, you should lose weight, you're fat. It's
yeah.
Thanks, we appreciate that.
I gotta get my knee x-rayed, though.
Great
That's
diagnosis.
For sure.
Anyways, moving on. We were sadly unable to pin down the exact age of the house, but it didn't seem all that old. We hadn't done any research prior to moving in, nor had we researched it in the years that we lived there, but nothing seemed off during the buying process, and the realtor didn't give my parents any reason to be concerned. All in all, everything seemed pretty normal. Nothing screamed spooky at all. While it wasn't a hot spot of activity, there were just a couple of alarming events. The first unexplainable instance happened one summer afternoon. I, being your average teenager, was napping in my bedroom. It's like the beginning of a Japanese RPG. The hero's always asleep. I was waking up.
I'm trying to think of what other RPG I've played where they wake up and start playing.
Zelda. I think like every Zelda he's sleeping to start it. So, anyways, I was waking up in that sweet, sweet phase when you just woken up, but you have nothing immediate needing your attention, so you can just chill and be lazy a little bit longer. Then I heard it. What sounded like someone rollerblading around on the hardwood floors of my bedroom closet. I was your typical lazy teenager in those days, so it wasn't like I had a pair of rollerblades in there that might have somehow gotten loose to cause the noise. It was the only area of that floor of the house that had hardwood floors, and I didn't have siblings who might be playing around in there. So right from the start, I was in panic mode. But before I could muster up the courage to even so much as open my eyes, I felt like I had been kicked in the stomach. Not a gentle tap either. My body was physically moved by the sensation. It hurt. My mind, it's like maybe there's an intruder, and because you had your eyes closed, they rollerbladed in, punched you in the stomach, and rollerbladed out.
It rocked you like a hurricane.
I hate you so much. My mind didn't automatically jump to the paranormal. While we may have lived in a very nice town where crime was unlikely, my first thought was that someone had broken in and I was being attacked. That's what I thought too. But when I opened my eyes, I was the only one in the room. My bedroom door was still closed, as it had been when I laid down, and nothing seemed out of place. That's fucking creepy.
You have a story too where you were like in the dark and it felt like something jumped on your bed,
Yeah,
right?
it felt like something landed on my bed and was standing over me, and then I just mustered up my strength and I was just like, I'm just going to lunge at it, and I just launched forward and opened my eyes when I did.
What if they were holding a knife like that?
I would have died, obviously. Thanks, Robin. But I would have died fighting, goddammit. But yeah, I opened my eyes, lunged forward, and there was nothing there, and I just flew out of bed and collapsed onto the floor at the foot of my bed and was like, what the hell just happened? All right, moving on. The second event happened a while later in that same room. While I'm not sure on the time frame now, I would guess that it was within the same year of the first event. A friend of mine had been staying the night. Yes, I love it when like someone else is there to witness this.
Yep.
And it's like my friend stayed the night and my ghost was really going after him. We were laying in my bedroom in the dark, me in my bed and her on the floor. That house had always made her feel uneasy. She thought that she had heard faint scratches and thumps coming from the closet, so she mustered the courage to crawl across the room to turn the nightlight on. The nightlight was plugged into the wall next to a window that let in some light, but obviously not enough to ease our fears. During her crawl, she glanced up at the window and saw a large black mass charge toward her. Naturally, she freaked the fuck out, ran across the room, and turned on the overhead lights, only to find a very confused me still in my bed.
Wow.
Needless to say, we did not get any sleep that night. I hope you enjoyed my stories. Thank you, 3, for creating a great podcast. I mean, my mom does help a little bit. And thank you to all the spooky friends out there that have put together such a wonderful community
pay her, though.
to be a part of. What?
We don't ever pay her.
We don't get paid. I mean, we get paid a little bit. We pay her with shout-outs. That's how Freaky Mom gets paid. So, thank you seriously, though, so much for sending that in. We sincerely appreciate it. Thank you, Mom, for proofreading this like all the other ones you proofread. Yeah, that last one is super fucking terrifying. Seeing, like, a black mass lunge at you is, like, that's a note for me. That's like, hey, I like you a lot, but this friendship is fucking terminated. Like, no more hanging out unless it's at my house, and don't bring your demons with if you come. So, pretty good stuff. I hope to hear more if you have more to give. And, yeah. So, the scariest experience I had staying the night at a friend's house was at my friend John's house. John's wife listens to the show, so I hope she hears this and makes him listen to it. So, John had a pretty big bedroom, and then their downstairs room was kind of like a den or a loft, but it was like part of the basement kind of. But it was really nice and wide, and it had a really nice couch, and so I would sleep down there most of the time if I spent the night. So, I was laying down, and I slept. And it was like 5:30 in the morning in the Midwest, so like sun's still not up, And I woke up and I like looked to the hallway because there was a guest room that like no one ever slept in. I never slept in that guest room no matter how many times I stayed over there. And then there was a bathroom right there too. And I saw something going into the bathroom and I was like, what the fuck is that? Because it was so hairy. And it was his dad without his shirt on.
Oh my God.
I swear to God, because he flipped the light on and I just saw like his dad's face. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, that's a hairy dude. Like, I have never seen a guy that hairy before. But it's like that old joke
Hairier
you hear.
than you now?
Oh, fuck yeah. Like that old joke you hear where it's like, oh, looks like they're wearing a sweater without their shirt on. Like, it was like...
Is it like Steve Carell
like the
in
thickest part of my
version?
beard right now? Like that part where you can't see skin? Everywhere. It was fucking everywhere. And it was like black and gray. So he looked like this majestic silverback gorilla that broke into the house to murder someone. And I thought it was me. And he turned the light on like, okay, I'm safe. I'm all right. But I brought up to John when we woke up. I was like, your dad's a hairy dude. And John was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, I woke up when he was getting ready today and I saw him without his shirt on.
Oh my God.
So, and then after saying that, of course, like, fucking hair hit me like a gorilla as well. So I joined his clan because I was so impressed. But
yeah, I lifted
totally
Adam's shirt up yesterday and looked at his back and I was like, holy fuck.
She lifts my shirt to judge me.
You should see him at the pool.
You shouldn't see me at the pool, more like it. But yeah, anyways, moving on. Fuck you, Robin. So, before we move into our normal commercial, I just want to go ahead and say, yeah, we're going to do some Manscaped commercials every week for the next few months. And we're only going to be doing them on the Storytime episodes, which is pretty cool. Very happy about that. It worked out very well. So thank you all for supporting us on that.
Yeah.
And I do want to say, as far as Manscaped goes, now is a really good time.
Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yeah, dude. Valentine's Day is coming
Yep.
up. If you want to purchase something for a loved one or a friend that you want to give like a really creepy gift to, or maybe yourself, it's the perfect time to do it.
You know, you want to tell your significant other, like, hey, Valentine's Day is coming up.
Trim that bush. Maybe give them...
That's so straight up.
Maybe give them an early Valentine's Day gift and just be like, hey, yo dog, trim that bush. So, honestly, the Manscaped thing, the lawnmower is one of my favorite things that I've ever gotten. I saw the ads for it on Facebook. I was like, this doesn't work. It's got to be bullshit. But I went ahead and ordered, and I was like, it is 100% waterproof.
Seriously,
it 100% works, and it's amazing on delicate skin.
I'm very surprised.
I'm relieved because when you're manscaping or you're landscaping, whatever you want to call it, you don't want to see nicks or cuts or anything like that, and it's terrifying when it happens. So I'm very happy that they exist, and you would be too. You know, if you're scared of that, like I am.
And if you want to get 20% off and free shipping, go ahead and use the code SCARyish at checkout. It's pretty good freaking deal.
It is. I won't lie. So one more time, at checkout, code SCARyish, 20% off and free shipping. And have yourself a happy Valentine's Day, and maybe a really happy Valentine's Day. Wink, wink. So, and if you're alone on Valentine's Day, it doesn't hurt to get yourself a gift. Just saying.
It doesn't hurt to get yourself a gift, especially one that won't hurt you.
Yeah, very true. Oh, wow. That got deep. That cut to the root of the problem right there.
So many puns! I can't even!
So before we move into our next story, we are going to take a really quick commercial break. And we're back.
All right. So this next email is from D. Davis, and the subject is Haunted Hotel in Wisconsin.
Nice.
I'm very intrigued. You got me. You got me at the title.
You hooked us.
A few years ago, I had a terrifying experience while traveling for work. The job that I had required me to spend more than 200 nights a year in hotels.
It's the majority of your nights in hotels.
Yeah. So I was and am very comfortable staying in hotels. I was in an inn in Elkhorn, Wisconsin, and I was staying in room 315 for the week. One morning, while I was asleep, I could hear the footsteps of the person in the next room. I remember thinking that their footsteps were really loud, but I wasn't overly concerned. A couple minutes later, I hear the footsteps approach my bed, and then I literally feel the bed sink down and the blankets tighten as if someone had climbed into bed next to me. I immediately shrieked and jumped out of bed. I looked in the direction the footsteps came from, and the bed was empty, and there was a wall on that side of the bed. I stood there with my heart racing. I caught my breath and laughed it off as just a dream. I was definitely not going back to sleep at that point, so I began my day. A few months later, I was staying in that hotel again. Why would you stay at that hotel again?
Maybe there wasn't a choice. Maybe like you had someone who arranged your travel.
We both can't speak today.
And just let you know, like, hey, this is where you're staying. Just check in and they'll give you a room number.
So I was staying in that hotel again with some coworkers. On our last day of the trip, one of my coworkers who was staying on the 3rd floor joined me at breakfast. He was a little shaken and said to me, quote, I had the weirdest dream this morning, end quote. And he said that while he was asleep, he felt the foot of the bed twitching. He opened his eyes and saw a shadow moving back and forth across the foot of the bed. He said the shadow was that of a child around 10 years or so. You don't know if it's a child, though, if it's a shadow, right? You just see this.
And you're seeing the stature of the figure, and you're just assuming it's like a small child.
Every time the shadow passed his feet, the bed twitched as if someone was pushing on it or kicking it. He watched this in terror for several seconds. How could you watch this and not just get up and start screaming?
You just established dominance. You do something creepier.
So they watched this for several seconds, and then jumped out of bed. Once out of bed, the shadow was no longer there. So he chalked it up to being a bad dream. As he told me this, I smiled at him and was like, yeah, right, fuck you, very funny, thinking he was teasing me about my previous story. He didn't understand why I was saying that, and swore up and down that he had never heard my story before.
I love it when anyone's reaction is, yeah, right, fuck you.
I still called BS. Once I shared my story with him, his eyes got huge, and he said, come on. We hopped up from breakfast and went to the front desk. My buddy asked, has anyone ever reported any strange things going on in the hotel before? The 2 ladies at the front desk responded with, oh, you mean the ghost on the 3rd floor? Yeah, the housekeeping staff won't go to the 3rd floor anymore. Or
no
alone.
Way. I was going to
3rd
say,
floor
you
alone
have to change
anymore.
those bedrooms, or you have to change those rooms.
That was all the verification we needed. We were officially freaked out. We did stay at the hotel one more time, and when I made the reservation, I said to the person on the phone, please don't put me on the haunted 3rd floor. His response was, I see you've stayed with us before, and
That's
chuckled.
Fucked up.
We stayed on the 2nd floor and had no odd experiences there. Oh my god, that sounds scared me.
I know, I was like, what the fuck was that? It sounds like my dog, or our dog, just stole some food from my mom.
Really?
It's a very specific yelling, hey! And then clapping to get her away from it.
We stayed on the 2nd floor and had no odd experiences there. The problem was that we were both extremely creeped out and were spooked by every noise we heard in our rooms and the hallway. Although we stayed at this property a lot and had become more friendly with the staff, we were unable to get any sleep at this property and had to find a new hotel in the area. Thank you. No. Thank you.
I wonder if the 3rd floor is the top floor, because I would request the top floor. And if they're like, ooh, I don't know if that's available, we're like, well, you put me on the haunted floor the last 2 times, so I think you'll find something on the top floor. Thank you. Also, I like to stay on the top floor because then you don't hear people walking around above you if it's an older hotel. Newer hotels typically don't have
Remember
that
when we
problem.
stayed at that hotel in San Diego and it was like right next to the elevator and you just heard the elevator?
The elevator squeaked every time it opened. We heard that, and we heard a girl get fucked for like 30
seconds.
Oh
my god!
And we're like, that poor girl. We're like, oh, I'm sure this is going to be the highlight of her night. And this dude's just like, that's all I got for you. I'm sorry.
Oh, seriously, I can't believe that.
We were just like landing like, squeak. And that was the fucking hotel, or the elevator door. And we're like, this is so annoying. And then we heard like,
shut up, I can't believe
is this really happening right now? And then it stopped so quick. And I was like, oh, I feel better complaining now. So, yeah, I do remember that hotel very well. Someone in chat, and I normally don't read these and put them into the show, but someone in chat said the best way to assert dominance if you see a ghost is to say in a really creepy voice, I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. And then, yeah, they should fuck off and leave you alone. So.
All right.
Thank you for sending that story.
Yeah.
Sorry about the bed sex noises.
God.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and move into the last email of the show. And this one's subject is homegrown horror. Feel free to read on the pod. Okay.
We're getting into it. We're going to read it.
Starts out like this. Hi, Robin and Adam.
Hi.
Hello. My name is Jordan, she/her, and I have 2 stories to share with you today. My boyfriend and I got a dog in November of 2019. We both go to the same university, so we stayed with each other pretty frequently.
Aw, cute.
Last year, in parentheses pre-COVID, I had a tax internship that was about 40 minutes away from home, so I had to get up at 5 a.m. every day.
What's a tax internship?
I'm sure it's an internship as it relates to taxes.
Oh.
That's just me guessing, though. Could be totally fucking wrong on that. The first thing I did was take our dog outside to use the bathroom. Because I am a big baby, this always made me nervous.
I can't read that, so it looked like big boy.
Why stop trying to read it? One morning, we were almost back to my apartment, and I saw something that looked like a person run behind our dumpster. This freaked me out, and I sprinted up my stairs as fast as I could, but didn't think much about it after I was back inside with my door locked. While I was on my way to work, my boyfriend, who had stayed at my house the night before, called me and told me someone broke into his truck and stole his backpack.
Oh my God.
I am 100% certain this is the person I saw run behind our dumpster to hide. Yeah, that was what my head went to initially, was like they were trying to break into your house or they were trying to break into your car. If you live in an apartment complex, at least all the apartment complexes I've lived in, like break-ins on cars are very, very frequent, which fucking sucks. I hate people that are the scum of the earth and do that shit. So yeah, that sucks. So this is, I guess, true crime in nature. Kind of scary and at the same time, a little bit worse because it's real. My second story happened in my new apartment. My bedroom is in the basement, but it's not too bad because it's built into a hill, so there is a full-size window. Interesting. You sound like a hobbit if you're built into a hill. My closet is pretty large.
Their houses look pretty sick.
They are. Those are pretty sick fucking houses.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we were way taller, so we'd walk around like Gandalf bumping into everything, but it'd totally be fucking worth it. Anyways, my closet is pretty large because the water heater is in it, and I often leave the door open. A few days ago, my dog walked over to my closet, looked up into it like he was looking up at someone, and would not stop growling. I called his name and threw him a ball, but he wouldn't stop growling. I then noped the fuck out and took him on a walk. When we got back, he laid down and went to sleep with no issues, so I'm still not sure what that's about. We had one last week that was just like that too. That's all I have for now. Thanks for everything you do. I've attached a picture of my dog to this email. Love, Jordan. Thank you so much for sending that, Jordan. That was really fucking good. Also, your dog is absolutely adorable. I think it's nice to have pets around, especially when you have to be around things that make you uncomfortable. Even though you wouldn't be going on the walk in the first one that made you uncomfortable because you're in the dark, at least you get to have like the animal with you. We have all those things that get posted in the Spooky Friends group on Facebook where it's like, if you're afraid of the dark and you have to go to the bathroom at night, like take your pet with you. And it shows like someone picking up their cat and setting the cat down on the ground. The cat's just like sleepily looking at them like, the fuck? And then when you're done, you pick the cat back up and take him back to the bedroom with you. So yeah, I just like the fact that we use pets as shields and they're adorable.
I think it's funny because anytime we hear weird noises, I'm always like, are you going to take Yui with you?
If it's not something that I think is too creepy, I'll go alone. But if it's something where I'm like, there may be an intruder, then I take the dog. That way the dog will bark. And I know the dog will run back to the bedroom. And then hopefully Robin will call the cops. She might just, I don't know, play fucking Pop Town instead and be like, hang on, let me beat this level before I call the cops.
Pop Town's sick.
It is sick. It's also a game that's done by my company, so go check that
Disney
shit
Pop
out.
Down.
Pretty good stuff.
Pop Down.
So I want to thank everyone who sent in their emails this show. We sincerely appreciate you sharing your stories with us. If you have a story you would like to share, please email storytime@scarish.com or go to our website, scarish.com, and click on Contact Us. Fill out that form. It does come directly to us. Directly to us. Or hit us up on any of our social medias. Facebook is facebook.com/scarishpodcast. Twitter is @scarishpod. And Instagram is @scarishpodcast. We would love to hear from you. Robin, for folks who would like to donate to our cause, how can they do so?
You can go to patreon.com/scarishpodcast. Those are monthly donations. Tiers start at $1, and at $1 you get ad-free episodes. So if you hate them ads, you can head there. We got them ads free.
We got no ads.
That's what I meant.
At patreon.com/scarishpodcast.
Also, we have like physical merch tiers too. So the physical merch tiers start at $10 dues, and you get stuff that I get made, and I actually write notes and I package it all up and I mail it out. So the next thing getting sent out is some Nessie stuff, Nessie keychain and Nessie sticker. So if you folks want to get on that, head on over to patreon.com/scarishpodcast. And if you don't like the whole monthly setup, you can do one-time donations as well. Coffee, ko-fi.com/scarishpodcast. And yeah, anything you do helps us upgrade the studio setup, keep us going, and we appreciate you.
Indeed. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Storytime. And yeah, that's just about everything we got. So Robin, go ahead and sign us out.
Keep on creeping on, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye.